Now here, let's try to use the concept of inheritance and polymorphism. We have here the um, IDE environment for our demonstration. Let's try to create a new project with the categories of Java, and the project is Java application. Let's try to click this next and try to name the project name as the like rectangle. Okay, and the name of this one, the main class. This will automatically create a main class with a main method. Finish. Okay, so this is our package rectangle, and now we're going to create first a class rectangle, and inside the package rectangle, try to right click and add a new Java class and name this one as rectangle. First, we need to create our base class. Okay, and rectangle is our base class. And what are some fields for this base class? So in each rectangle, we have length and width. Okay, and to implement the information hiding, we have to use the private modifier for our instance variables, and we have the length and width. Okay, now we will be using the feature of this NetBeans IDE to automatically insert the code for the constructor. Okay, you can have the default constructor or constructor with parameter, or you, and also you can insert the getter and setter method, the toString, and the override method. Okay, first we will have the constructor with two parameters. All right, and then for these two instance variables, we will be inserting the setters and getters for the variables. So we have getter and setter for length and width. Okay, it is automatically inserted here. Now we will add another method just to compute the area. Okay, public void. Now to compute the area, we have to display or use the formula for displaying the result. Use the formula a length times width. Okay, and for this one, for this method, we're going to display the I know, rather we're going to return the value of the area. So instead of a void method, we will be using the method double to return the area of the rectangle. Length times width. Okay, and the perimeter. Okay, compute perimeter. We have to use the formula 2 times length times width. Okay, now to display the info of rectangle, we'll have the method of type void. Okay, let's try to display the length here. Now we'll have the insert. Now we're trying to format the output by displaying the properties in a new line and also displaying the area and the perimeter. And in this case, area of a rectangle, have to concatenate the compute area method call. Then in a new line, the perimeter. Okay, now this is our base class. Now to demonstrate the inheritance, let's try to create a subclass of this rectangle. So from the package, right click new and Java class. And this one, we have to create a class like square, or I know it's a box. Okay, so we can add the specific property of the box like the height. Okay, finish. And in this case, we will be using the keyword extends to make rectangle as the superclass of box. Okay, All right. So there is a red flag here which shows that rectangle constructor in class rectangle cannot be applied to given types. Okay, and it required two integers of arguments for uh, the box. Okay, so this red flag here will be removed after overriding the constructor of the superclass rectangle. Right, so to define a new property of box, so we have the height here, and to prevent the outside access of the instance variable of box, we have to use the access specifier private. And for example, we'll have the integer type of height. All right. And for the constructor, okay, let's try to insert a constructor for this, which is the height. Okay, so it automatically calls the constructor of the superclass rectangle using the keyword super. All right. And then let's try to insert the getter and the setter for the height property. All right. Now let's try to override the method um, compute area and compute perimeter. Okay. And automatically also it uses the override annotation to override the compute area and compute perimeter. And of course, we have to use the parent's um, perimeter and area results to be added for the computation of perimeter and area of the box. Now, the formula of getting the area of the box is this one. Okay, area of the box. We have 2 times the length, 2 times height times width plus 2 times the height times length plus 2 times width times length. Now, since the area of the rectangle is using the length times width, okay, we can use this one in the box. So it's length times width here. Okay, so return 2 times length times width plus 2 times height times width. Okay, by the way, width is declared as private in the class rectangle, so we cannot access the width in the outside class. So to inherit the members of that particular class, we can use the modifier protected so that only the child class of this rectangle can access the protected access of or protected modifier of the property. Okay, save. Then here in the box, so now it removed the red flag under width is gone, plus 2 times the height and length. Okay, save. And also, you can specify the own methods for the box, like getting the surface area of the box and others. And also, we're going to override the method display. Okay, try to insert the override, and we have the display method here. Okay, so we have used the override annotation and calling the display method of the parent class using the keyword super.display. And since the display method of rectangle displays the length, width, area, and perimeter of rectangle, here in our child class, we'll just try to add the um, box property. Okay, and we have here the new line. We have to display the height and the area of the box. Compute area. All right. Now, in the main class, we are going to create an instance of the box like like for example box 1 is equal to new box. And here we have to pass the 3 parameters for the box. Okay, height, length, and width. For the height, for example, height of the box like 2, length is 5, and width is 3. Okay, and we will be using this box 1 object to call the public methods of box. And here we have like box dot display. Save. Now let's try to run our program. So we have here length, width. We must have to label this display properly, like rectangle, length, width, area, perimeter. Okay, but we have already our output. Now for formatting the display, this is for the rectangle. And here, and still we can get the height and the length and the width. The length and also the width. Okay. So this must be put in a new line. All right. Now take note of the things that you cannot do in inheritance, that you cannot override the methods with the static modifier and with the methods final, and of course the class final. Right, just like this one, for example, we're going to um, make this one as static. Okay, public static void. Remember, static methods, those we can call this display method without instantiating an object of class rectangle. So there is an error here that non-static variable length cannot be referenced from a static context, since the length and width are non-static, as well as the compute area and compute parameters, so it can be used in this context. All right, and there is an error here also in the class box, that display in box cannot override display in rectangle. Okay, since the display method in the class rectangle is static. All right. Right. Now let's try to have this a static method also. Okay. And try to have the hint here. Non-static variable super cannot be referenced from a static context. Yes. Okay. Cannot be used in the static context. The non-static variable super. Okay, and also you cannot use the super and this reference at the same time, since this the super and the this reference must be the first statement, so it cannot be used along with each other. Okay, for this one, I mean here. Okay, like instead of using the super, you'll have the this. Okay, now we're going to remove this static keyword here, and also from here. Thank you.